Yo, what's going on, guys? Zebs here, bringing you a special tutorial this week on how to do the bare basics of modeling. Now, I've recently been learning how to model for two reasons. One, because I find an interest in modeling things like large scenes, like giant cities and stuff. And two, to make tutorials on it, since there's not a whole lot of great tutorials on it. So I thought I would learn how to model and make tutorials and things like that. So before we start, I'm still learning how to model, but I think I do have enough experience in the very beginning scene to make a tutorial on it. So all you pro modelers out there possibly watching this, if I do something wrong or something like that, or if I say something wrong or anything like that, just tell me down in the comment below and things like that. So the first thing, what we're going to do is we're going to get a cube. I've noticed with a lot of models, it all starts with a cube. And once we've done this, we've got this regular cube. We haven't done any editing to it or anything. We're gonna set these segments to 20. Oops. I usually just like to start with 20. If I want to do something more complex, I would raise the segment numbers. Now, if you're watching and you don't know what this is, basically what I just did was, if I was to push C on my keyboard and select this, there'd be 20 different segments on here. So what we're going to do before we do any of that, we're going to go into display and we're going to go into quick shading lines. Now this will do the same exact thing I just showed you, where you can see all the lines and all of that, all the graphs and whatnot. So once we've done this, we're going to click C on our keyboard or this tool right here, which does the same thing. It turns it into a editable object. So what you can do with this is, once you select here, let's take it back a notch. So once you have it here, there's a bunch of tools you can edit to make different results. Like, for example, this, you can select each point and then drag them out to make a different point. Another example would be this right here. You can select the edges and do something with that. But for today, I think we're mostly going to be focusing on the face edit, where we are editing just the cube, so then we can do stuff like this. So the first thing what we're gonna do is probably go over some basic things that you can do. So to start off with, we're just going to select the top here, and we're just gonna drag it out. Hold on, let me zoom in. As you guys may notice, that it's a little bit too big, and sometimes you might select more. To fix this, if you ever used Photoshop before, it's like the brush tool, where if you could click these brackets, they will shrink, so you can make it smaller and smaller to be more precise. So I just shrunk it down so it can make it more precise for the front. So once we've done this, we have a basic highlight of this thing, so it's orange, so that's the indicator that it's highlighted. So once we've done this, if you pull this out, it's going to make a weird kind of shape, something that you might not want. So to fix this, what we're going to do is we're just going to keep it highlighted, and we're going to right click. Now, once we have it right clicked, we're going to have a bunch of tools that you can mess with. See right there, I accidentally just clicked once. Hold on, let me re-highlight this. So if I do this, then this. All right. I don't know what I just did there. Oh, okay, hold on. I think I understand. Alright, hold on. So now we have our highlight. So once we right click, we have a bunch of tools that we can select from. Right? So to start off with, we're going to be using the extrude. Extrude is a kind of pull-out tool, pull-in tool. You'll see in a second. There's a bunch of settings here you can edit with, which I usually don't mess with any of them that much. I mean, you don't need to if you're just trying to do a basic pull out or pull in. Now, as you can see before, it had a weird shape here, and this one, it just pulled out the shape that that I was trying to do. So another tool we're gonna go over will be the extrude inner, which this makes a inner extrude. So what I just did there was I pulled it in, so now it's a lot smaller than the actual outer part. So what I did there was I just hold left click and then just drag it to the left, and that will change the size and whatnot. So we're just going to make it a little bit smaller, and then we're going to do another extrude. This time we're going to push it out just a tad bit, And then once we've done that, we're going to do another extrude inner, and then we could just pull that one out a little bit. And then you can just kind of work off of this. Like, this would be a cool little pattern that you had on a building or something like that. And I can't, well, you can kind of see it, but I don't have any shading or anything like that, so it's a little bit hard to see. So you can work off of those tools to make some really cool things. But obviously there's a lot more. So let's start off with, let's do this side here. Maybe in this tutorial I'll make something to show you guys. We'll see. So I guess another thing, once you have bevel selected, you could just kind of do this, hold shift, you can move things. Wow, I didn't even know that. But yeah, once you have bevel selected right up here, you can just select whatever you want and you can just do that. Select this, boom. You can, yeah, come out, why not? But yeah, all right, so we're gonna select all of this. Whoops. So select this, live selection tool, boom. Select them all. Yeah, let me get my, all right, so now that we have them all selected, we're gonna now go into our extrude. We're just gonna drag it out a little bit. And then this time we're gonna use our bevel. Now, bevel is kind of a weird tool, but basically I'll just show you. It kind of you can make like curves, kind of like curve the edges. This one's kind of weird, this right here, but basically what I did was I just left click and hold it in and it curved the edges. And this is a really cool tool to make like maybe towers on stuff, like whatnot. And you can make some really cool things with these tools, like just by like selecting shapes, pulling them out, pulling them in, and whatnot. So there's that part. And then another thing, which I found was really useful when I was modeling things or practicing modeling, was the knife tool. Now, I learned a cool little technique that may help a lot of you guys out that you might not know of. So I'm just going to get another cube. So I'm going to get another cube going. And let's push C for the example here. So now we have these sides. Now let's say if you wanted to have one of these blue things here in the middle, because for some odd reason you needed that there, but you didn't know it at the time. So one thing you can do that's really cool is if you right click, you can go into your knife tool. Now the knife tool right now is select to perspective. So if I was to do this, it cuts all the way around of something like this. Now this may not be what you want, but there's a cool little tool that you can use in the options. So if you select mode and go into loop, is it? Yeah, loop. This will go all the way around the thing. So you can select different points here to make your own custom like line things. I don't know what to call them yet. But this is a really cool tool that you can use to make custom like shapes, and then you could pull each one out because they are, you know, things. And then you can work off these, make really cool things with them. So here, what other thing that's pretty cool is let's see here. So if I right click this, if I go into mirror, well, you can mirror things. So what you want to do is you want to click apply, and then this cool little, if you hold left click, most of these tools you want to hold left click for it to take effect. While you're holding left click, you're gonna see a 4-axis white thing pop up, a white little plus sign or whatever, and you can drag it to like. Since I have the mirror plane set to XZ, it's gonna only go to XZ coordinates, kind of. So down, wait, right? Well, let me find it. Oh, it's here. Like I said, I'm still learning. Oh, wait, so I have been doing it. Okay, they've just been duplicating. So X and Z is up and down. And then you could change them to ZY, XZ, you know, change the place, things like that. If you just had a blank cube, you could just duplicate the cube up to make, I don't know, something pretty cool. Things like that. Let's see, what else could you do? I'm just teaching stuff that I've learned so far. So there's obviously a lot more tools to go through, but these are just some of the things that I've learned that I could teach you guys. So close, let's see here. Bridge, makes a bridge kind of tool. I'm still kind of learning how this one works, so maybe I'll make this tutorial a series while I'm learning, I make tutorials on them, you know, things like that. So I'm just gonna show you guys a basic. I'm just gonna try and make a basic tower, I suppose. So to start off with, we're gonna have our cube here. Actually, let me get a new cube, and I'm gonna set the segments to 20 by 20 by 20. That'll give good editing space and whatnot. So once we've done this, we're just going to make it a lot bigger. So I select the whole top part. Boom. Now I'm gonna make it smaller so I can get the finer detail. Now modeling does take time, so just give me a minute here to highlight everything. So far, how you guys liking this tutorial? It's kind of different, you know, rather than my typical 3D, like how to make a render type thing. I wanted to switch it up a little bit and do a modeling tutorial. Hopefully I want to make it a series, like while I learn, I teach you guys what I learn and whatnot, and then maybe have a huge project one of these times where it's like 10 parts, each one's like an hour long, of I teach you guys how to like model a city or something like that. Something crazy. I want to do something like that. But once we have this, everything highlighted, we're just going to get our extrude and just drag it up. We're going to make it a little bit bigger, things like that. Let's see here. Another thing they can do is when you let go of left click, it's going to make one of these blue lines. So you can take advantage of that and make different amounts of these blue lines, which, again, for all you modelers out there, who there is probably a name for it, I just don't know it. So once we've done this, we're going to then go right click it while everything's still highlighted. Don't click away so it highlights. While everything's highlighted, right click, go extrude inner, and we're just going to slightly bring it in and then get a bevel, drag it out just to give it a little bit more detail. And I'm just gonna, whoops, like I said, still learning some things here. Extrude inner, do it again, extrude, boom, bring it out. Whoa, that's kind of cool. Anyway, so as you can see, we kind of have a little slick design here. So one thing that we're gonna do next is once we're gonna, well, let's work on the sides a little bit. So once we've done this, we're going to then start, if you do UL, that will select the whole thing, so all thing around, so you don't have to highlight each one. So we're just going to select that, and we're going to right click, go extrude, and we're just going to bring it out a tad bit. And then as you can see here, it's not like completely, like, you know, it's not complete. So we're just going to highlight each of the corners of these pulled out things, which it's on all four sides since we selected UL. And we're just going to drag them in so that it completes the edge. So once we've done this, boom, one more side, boom, boom. All right, so now that we have them all like highlighted, what we're going to do next is we're going to right click and go extrude again, and we're just going to kind of overlap them into the cube. Now, you obviously want to take your time on this, but for the sake of the tutorial, I didn't really measure it, which I think I did a pretty good job for just kind of free-eyeing it. So once we've done that, we're going to select back into our tool, and we are going to select UL, select the whole thing, and then let's do an inner extrude on this one. Whoops, wait, did I select? Interesting. Oh yeah, I did. Hold up. So there, boom, okay. UL, select the whole thing. Sure, yep, good. And then do an inner extrude, or extrude inner, and then we're just gonna kind of drag this out, I suppose, a little bit, not like just a tad bit less than what the first one we did there. So once we've done that, we are then going to do a bevel that does that curvy, cool little curvy tool. This one I want to mess around with a little bit more because I feel like there's more that you can do than just do that. Like, there's a lot of settings for this, so I kind of want to mess with this a little bit. Maybe I'll make on the part 2 of this series, maybe I'll go in more depth of this once I've learned more about it. So once we've done this, let's get our selection tool going again. Boom, boom. You can even select these little parts if you wanted. Like, you click whatever, you know, modify things. So once we've done that, I suppose we can start editing at the top here. Let's see here. About this big. That's good. Just kind of get a large amount done. So for the sake of the tutorial, boom. And then I'll make it smaller again. Just like so. Whoops. Yeah, make sure you guys hold shift while you're highlighting stuff, or else it's just gonna remove it like it just did. So yeah, just hold shift while you're like painting it in, whatnot, so then it saves it. Boom. Alright, so now that we have everything like that, we're gonna do another extrude. We're just gonna drag it out. So once we've done that, I suppose, let's see here. How do, let's see here. Does this work? Okay. Yeah, so now we're gonna make the tower part. So to do this, we're gonna take advantage of the size tool, the resizing tool. So if you click this, or is it T? Yeah, so T, or just click this button here. If you hold the left mouse button and then hold left, it will shrink it towards the center. And if you hold it right, it'll make it bigger. So we're just gonna kind of center it out a little bit, and then we're gonna drag it up, kind of make a tower kind of shape looking thing. Once we've done that, we're gonna do the same exact thing, make it inward, and then boom. I mean, then at this case, now that it's so small, you can drag it up, resize it. But since we still have the top highlighted, we can make a extrude if we want. We can make a bevel, maybe. Bevels are kind of weird. I'm still kind of learning them a little bit, but you get the idea. So now that we have a basic tower, I suppose, yeah. You got yourself a tower now, or a little pointy tower part. And then I showed you guys a little bit of how you can make a design off of a building and whatnot. Obviously, you would make windows by selecting them, delete, and then going through, and then get yourself a building. So hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Again, I kind of went out on comfort zone here. I'm still learning this whole modeling stuff, but this is like the stuff that I know about it that some of you guys may not know. So hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you guys want me to make more tutorials on modeling, leave a like and comment down below. And also, if you're still watching this, I did make a form down in the description down below, which will make a request. Like, you can request tutorials for all 4 of us. You just click the link, fill it out, and then we get your form, and then that will give us good ideas for tutorials that you guys want us to make and whatnot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I've been your host today, Zebs, and I am out. Peace.